lowest price ever.
All right, Tony, the Moncton Coliseum, affectionately known as the Cage, is the site for Friday Night Hockey. The starting goaltenders brought to you by Shreddies, the official cereal of the CHL. Darren touched on it. Good goaltending matchup. Zachary Foucali, the 17-year-old from Rosemère, Quebec. In goal for the Halifax Mooseheads. He's the quickest goaltender in QMJHL history to 50 wins. He's now up to 66 in his career. The most wins with 34 this season. Second in goals against, and he's the #1 ranked goaltender from North America in the midterm Central Scouting rankings. For the Moncton Wildcats, Alex Dubois, and he has been on a roll lately. Third in the league with 24 wins. The second best goals against. He's won 7 of his last 8 games, including 2 shutouts over that span. And Alex Dubois has said he has found his game, and he is a focused young man. We saw him in practice yesterday, and he tried to stop everything that was fired at him. And you know he'll see a lot of pucks from number 22 for Halifax.
Yeah, he's got the wheels. He's fired up, and these two maritime teams don't like each other very much. Should be a good tilt.
Nathan McKinnon, Jonathan Drouin, and Martin Firth. This is a line that has been red hot. In fact, McKinnon is the one on the coldest streak. He's only on a 9-game point streak. Drouin, 15 games, and Martin Firth, 13 games.
And you talk about this group of 3, and Dominic Ducharme, the head coach for the Halifax Mooseheads, has struggled as to whether or not to put these guys together. And throughout various points in the season, they've been put together, but most recently really finding that success and seemingly coinciding with the fact that all 3 of them came back from the World Junior Hockey Championships.
Quick line change from Dominic Ducharme. He gets the McKinnon line off and comes out with Brett Andrews, Stephen McCauley, and Stéphane Fournier. Now the Saulnier twins, along with Yannick Veilleux, they head off as well. You can kind of tell the matchup that Danny Flynn wants immediately. Wants the Saulniers against Nathan McKinnon's line.
And Danny Flynn's one of those coaches. He's so prepared, and matchups are a big part of his coaching. And it's something we'll see all night long.
Christophe Lalonde. Now circling the net, Ryan Penny just put that wide. Stéphane Fournier, 28 goals for the overage player. A couple of overagers out there. Stephen McCauley, acquired from St. John, wears number 81. Ryan Penny bumps with Fournier. Ross Johnston takes a hit. The puck comes in front to Mackenzie Weegar. Stick handling through center. Fournier puts one right on Dubois. Didn't handle that one terribly smooth, but was able to get to the rebound before any player from Halifax did. Keys to the game brought to you by the Irwin Tools. The makers of Vice Grip Groove Lock pliers invite you to celebrate National Tradesman Day on September 20th.
When you look at the Halifax Mooseheads, they want to limit what the East Coast Sedins do. I mean, you're talking about the Saulnier brothers. They're 2-7 when they go both without a point. And for the Moncton Wildcats, hey, they need to stay out of the box. The power play for Halifax has been deadly in the 4-game series to this point, 11 for 29. And so discipline has been preached all week long in practice for Moncton.
Jonathan Drouin in front of the net, bouncing puck. Burke trying to settle it down. Burke rolls it back to Drouin. McKinnon can't get a shot away. He was tied up by Jonathan Narbonne. McKinnon behind the net. He's still got Narbonne on his back. Drouin cuts in front. Decides not to shoot. Pass was picked off by Alex Saulnier. Pretty good bounce pass to Yannick Veilleux. Veilleux trying to go in front of net on and on. Oh, what a save by Foucali. Zach Foucali, calm and cool, kicks aside the redirection from Alain Saulnier, point blank. He acted like that was no big deal. Dmitry Yaskin, you can't get much hotter than Yaskin, number 26 for Moncton.
How about that? I mean, the player of the month in January, and he missed 3 games.
Matthew Boudreau, number 57. He actually leads Halifax in goals. Doesn't get talked about very much. He's got 30 on the season. Trey Lewis, bunch of traffic in front. How did Alex Dubois see that? He picked it out of the air and hangs on.
Well, great opportunity for Alain Saulnier, and it starts with Veilleux. He takes such a great angle here. He's able to get by the defenseman Weegar. Now he stops, realizing that he's got 2 men on him. With that odd man rush, he realizes with 2 guys on him, someone's going to be open. Sure enough, it was, and Saulnier stopped stone cold by Zachary Foucali. the play by Bayeux there. He took a great angle through the neutral zone in order to get the pass and still use his body to shield the defender, and made a smart play to get the pass to Alain Saulnier thereafter.
Well, the Saulniers are twins, if you're not familiar with the Moncton Wildcats, and they have some Sedin qualities. They tend to find each other, and their new line mate, Yannick Bayeux, who's acquired from Shawinigan, won a MasterCard Memorial Cup with the Cataracts last season. Christophe Lalonde redirects one, knocked down at center by Brett Andrews. Stephen McCauley. Fournier gives it back to McCauley, and he was just offside.
Well, RJ, you talked about the Saulnier brothers, and going back a couple of years ago, Rob Falls coined them the East Coast Sedins, and for good reason. There's a lot of similarities between the two groups. You look at Alex and Alain and goals, assists, and you talk about Henrik and Daniel. One's a center, one's a winger, one wears a letter. Almost mirror images of one another. So it falls you a little credit there, going back a couple of years ago with the East Coast Sedin moniker.
Well, Alex is Henrik, Alain is Daniel. So that's how they would be explained, and I asked them if they ever rib each other. And Alex has more career points, but this year Alain has 3 more points. So Alain's taking advantage of that, and he's giving it to Alex a little bit.
Oh, yeah. You sure? There's a lot of talk going on between those guys, and they've been together for such a long, long time here.
Nathan McKinnon comes in over the line, gets it to Martin Burke. That shot hit a stick, missed the net. McKinnon's on it again. Burke goes to the corner against Stephen Johnson. Narbonne chops it around the boards. Trey Lewis pinches to keep this puck in. It goes off Kyle Haas and out of play.
Well, the big story going into the Home Hardware CHL NHL Top Prospects game when we were there in Halifax about a month ago was Nathan McKinnon. And when the Central Scouting rankings came out and he moved from 1 to 2 with Seth Jones moving into that 1 spot, and then he looked in his rearview mirror and saw his teammate Jonathan Drouin move into the 3 spot, all of a sudden he felt like he was taking a back seat. And since that time, I think Nathan McKinnon has really played with a chip on his shoulder with something to prove. There's no doubt you want to be that #1 guy, and that is something that has surely motivated him since that time.
Well, something that sometimes goes unnoticed, face-off wins. Both these teams have 2 really good face-off men each, so it should be some interesting big-time draws during this game. Liam Alcalde puts it right on goal, and Alex Dubois, no problems there.
No shortage of top prospects here, and we've seen scouts throughout the last night or so here in the Moncton area looking at Nathan McKinnon, Jonathan Drouin. Matt Murphy's a guy who was acquired from Val-d'Or that not a lot of people have talked about, and going back to the start of the year was a much highly touted big defensive prospect. Is starting to find his game. Mackenzie Weegar is another guy who plays in the back end for Halifax, who many people don't know a lot about. They say that he does not even know how good he is, and he has been really good of late with about a point per game pace since December.
Boudreau takes his man Lalonde down. Ross Johnston chopped it one in front of the net. And there will be a penalty coming up to Halifax. It will be a holding call, and I believe it will be Boudreau that gets it.
You know, RJ, you look at this Moncton team, and over the course of the last 2 games, getting off to a good start has been a bit of a challenge. I mean, outshot 11-0, outshot 7-0 throughout various courses of each of the last 2 games. And now the situation arises where Lalonde goes down, he draws the penalty, and Moncton will have a chance to go on the power play. With already 1 good chance in the books, they're well ahead of where they've been with their starts in the last 2 games.
Another good save by Fucali, and by the way, Moncton has the #1 power play in the Quebec Major Junior Hockey League. Danny Flynn telling us yesterday he goes with 5 forwards out there, and that was Philippe Deneau putting that through traffic, and Zach Fucali absorbs it and hangs on.
And you look at Philippe Deneau, and Danny Flynn was talking about a guy that, yes, we need speed, but we also need a guy that we think can work well in the power play. He did that for Yannick Jean on the power play in Victoriaville, so it was a natural fit that when he was dealt here to Moncton, that's a spot he would take up.
Alex Saulnier back to Deneau, moves it over to Alain Saulnier. Alain Saulnier takes a shot. It was deflected. Fucali stopped that too. Dmitry Yaskin was on the doorstep but couldn't convert. Halifax with the #8 penalty kill. 3 of them coming in. Maybe a chance shorthanded. Alex Saulnier. His pass right to Yaskin. It bounced on him. Won't be able to keep it in. Cleared down the ice by Brendan Duke. And not what you want to do on the power play is ice the puck.
No, that's definitely the case. You look at Dmitry Yaskin, a central piece to Danny Flynn's power play for the Moncton Wildcats, and they like to operate in this 1-3-1 formation. Perfect example of it there. One guy at the point, three guys across the middle of the ice, and another guy down low. Really brought into popularity by the head coach of the Tampa Bay Lightning, Guy Boucher, back with his time at the Quebec Major Junior Hockey League with Drummondville, and then after that with Canada's under-18 team that Pat Quinn coached, and of course the World Juniors.
Jonathan Narbonne, not on the first power play unit, but he's third in QMJHL defenseman scoring. Jonathan Racine, defense partners with Narbonne. They were defense partners last year in Shawinigan. Now Narbonne, overage defenseman, rifles it in. Fucali can't stop it behind his net. Duke wraps it around. McKinnon takes a bump from Racine. Racine able to send that puck in deep. 27 seconds to go in this power play. Narbonne can't keep it in, and Halifax will send it down the ice and get a change.
We talked about that pairing with Narbonne and Racine. There's also a couple of other former Shawinigan players in goal with Alex Dubois and Yannick Veilleux up front. So getting that MasterCard Memorial Cup experience, something very key for Danny Flynn.
Ivan Barbashev, the #1 overall pick in the import draft. Tried to stick handle his way in traffic. Couldn't get a shot away. Final few seconds in the penalty to Matthew Boudreau. Kicking off the clock. Boudreau's back on the ice. Halifax back to full strength. And that's a small victory, stopping the #1 power play in the league.
#1 power play in the Canadian Hockey League at 28.8%.
Stéphane Fournier to Boudreau. The return feed to Fournier. Right back to Boudreau. Sharp angle. Blocked by Racine. Not out. Matt Murphy doesn't shoot. Boudreau, there's another shot and another save by Dubois. A penalty coming up to Moncton. When we come back, a power play for Halifax.
Well, just before the break, you'll see in front of the net, James Melindi wears number 43, gets a stick up into the grill of Stéphane Fournier. Fournier snaps the head back, goes down, and that results in a penalty. And so we'll get a look at now the #2 power play in the Canadian Hockey League, and a pretty good group there for the Halifax Mooseheads, 28.6% coming into tonight's game.
Two powerhouse power plays in these teams, and Dominic Ducharme, head coach of Halifax, mentioned before the game when we said, oh, you're the #2 power play. You have something to work on. He knew they were 0.2 of a point behind. He knew exactly how far they were behind Moncton.
Doesn't have too many complaints otherwise.
Down low, Fournier, the man who drew the penalty. Doesn't shoot. Drouin, Conrad Albertshauser. Martin Furk gives it to Drouin. Right back to Furk. Now Drouin, a little bit of space. Makes a move. Stick handles in. He doesn't shoot it. Drouin holding on to it. Back to Furk. Furk will shoot. That's kicked aside by Dubois. The rebound comes back to Drouin. Good chance for Halifax. Drouin under his stick. And Narbonne gets to it, sends it down the ice, and the fans at the Moncton Coliseum cheer on the home team.
Not without one good chance, but a good kick save there by Dubois.
Martin Furk. He's weaving his way through center. Furk over the line. Darcy Ashley gets it to Matthew Boudreau. Mackenzie Weegar gets it to Furk. He tried to pass in front. It was picked off by Alain Saulnier and right back down the ice.
That's one thing that will happen on occasion for Furk. They really want him to shoot the puck. He's in a perfect position with the kind of shot he has that I think is NHL ready right now. You got to let it fly to the net.
Darcy Ashley's pass. That hit a stick and went so high in the air it hit one of the beams.
You look at this power play that Halifax is able to throw out there, and the key cog is Jonathan Drouin. He'll play on the half wall, and he's so smart, he's so shifty, he's so good with the stick that he can do just about anything. And you see him make a couple of nifty moves in and out of traffic there, wearing that face shield with the stick and the chops while sitting on the bench in a game against Quebec earlier this month.
It was a 4-minute power play to James Melindi, so still 2 minutes and 20 seconds to go in this power play for Halifax. Stephen McCauley, Darcy Ashley sends it in deep. Luca Ciampini moves it over to Boudreau. Mackenzie Weegar works his way to the middle. He doesn't shoot. Instead gives it to Boudreau. Back to Weegar. Weegar's had the hot hand. In their last game against Rimouski, he had 3 assists and had the shootout game winner. Not bad for a defenseman. Boudreau. In front. Stephen McCauley scores. Welcome to Halifax, Stephen McCauley. He has championship experience and comes through with a big power play goal for the Mooseheads.
One of the most likable people you'll ever meet, and Stephen McCauley was a huge acquisition. This is one element that the Halifax team did not have. A guy who could play in all situations, and here he is on that second power play unit. This puck goes down low, and from the bad angle, that rebound is created. Dubois kicks it right out into the crease. McCauley's there. He's left untouched, and I like how quickly he gets rid of it off his stick. That lightning quick release as the Mooseheads on top 1-0.
Well, it's been a good season for Stephen McCauley in his over-age year, and he has been good since he's joined the Mooseheads. 13 points now in 13 games. Can't ask for much more than that.
Talked about playing with Jonathan Huberdeau while with the St. John Sea Dogs and how good a start he got off to, and happy to be traded. He's from Cole Harbour. He's able to live at home now. He's got Brendan Duke, his buddy that he grew up with, right next to him, and so a real nice connection there for Stephen McCauley.
Brett Andrews gets the puck over. Stéphane Fournier was in a dangerous spot, just missed the pass. Braden Wood to Jacob Sweeney. Wood, stick handles around Beauchemin at center. Dmitry Yaskin. Not much on that shot. Fournier lofts it in. Dubois sees it all the way. Lets his defenseman know it's in the corner. Quick up to center. Yaskin. He's watched closely. Matt Murphy gave him no space whatsoever, and that's been a trend lately after Yaskin's hot streak. Drouin down low to McKinnon. McKinnon comes out of the corner, drops it back behind the net. Knew exactly where Drouin would be. Drouin sends it back to the other side. McKinnon goes and battles for it. He's double teamed. Puck comes to Firk. Firk to Drouin. That just missed. Uyghur takes a shot. Traffic in front, and once again, Alex Dubois is able to gobble it up and hang on and not allow a rebound. This is Friday night hockey. Halifax leads 1-0.
Pretty tough to get a ticket for this one tonight. Jam-packed here at the Moncton Coliseum. Shades of the 2006 MasterCard Memorial Cup.
A lot of fans faced off to get in the cage tonight. Another good save by Zach Fucali.
They may not be getting out with all the snow.
Yeah, it's coming. Yannick Bayou tried a power move. Konrad Albertshauser, the big German import defenseman, didn't let that happen. Bayou, cross-ice pass. Wayne Saulnier waits for it to settle. Gets it to twin brother Alex, and right away, Matt Murphy was there, took it away. Bond can't get far. Firk coming the other way, heading to the front of the net. Stéphane Fournier, shot by Firk, missed the net. Ivan Barbashev ahead to Philip Deneau. Deneau has 15 points in 10 games since being acquired from Victoriaville. He wears number 10. He has the puck against Konrad Albertshauser in the corner, and that big reach of Albertshauser, 6'5" defenseman, poked it away. Vanek Mall along the boards. Brett Andrews had it for a moment. There's Deneau to steal it. Look for Yaskin. That pass is too far ahead. Breaking in is McCauley. It's a 3-on-0. Oh, and they didn't score. A 3-on-0 for Halifax. Fournier and Andrews were with McCauley, and Fournier lost it. You don't see that often.
And it can be at times a tough proposition. You have 3-0 and you're saying to yourself, I've got two other guys. I don't want to be selfish here when maybe the best option is to shoot the puck. And that's the situation McCauley finds himself in. As the puck gets turned back over, all the Moncton players get caught up ice. And it goes right back into the zone. McCauley's there. He gets it out front to Fournier. Andrews is there as well. And they can't even get a good shot on goal. With McCauley already having scored once, that trio will sit down with a golden opportunity, having passed them by.
Wow, what a chance for Halifax. Moncton dodged a bullet. Lalonde, fancy pickup. Got it ahead to Ross Johnston. He's 6'5", too. He can be a force down low. Gets it to Ryan Penny. Now Lalonde setting up in the corner. Right back to Johnston. Johnston circles away that long range. Got a shot off the side of the net. Austin Hardy ahead to Darcy Ashley. 2 Champini tips it to the corner. Ryan Penny has it. Gets it back to Braden Wood. Wood clears it down the ice, and that's past everybody. That's icing against Moncton.
RJ, we look at Alex Dubois in a very interesting situation. One of 4 Shawinigan players from last year to now play for the Moncton Wildcats, and actually started the MasterCard Memorial Cup last year, but things didn't go particularly well. Shawinigan lost its first game, and he ended up giving up the net to Gabriel Girard. Now, it worked out team-wise as Shawinigan ended up winning the MasterCard Memorial Cup, but Dubois playing with a chip on his shoulder.
Didn't get off to the start he wanted with Moncton either, but he has found his game now.
He sure has. Feeling a lot more confident, feeling like some of that in-between game workout stuff is starting to pay dividends.
First cross-ice pass. There's the skill of Drouin. His shot was off his stick, went wide. No problem. Picked up his own rebound. Gets it to McKinnon. There's Dubois on his game. What a glove save by Dubois.
Jonathan Drouin, I mean, this guy is so slick, and we're talking about Nathan McKinnon with the most recent opportunity, but it doesn't happen without the quick mitts and the smart thinking of Jonathan Drouin. He's able to take this pass at the blue line, and so slickly as it goes to the far side of the ice between his legs, and from there on, Halifax is able to initiate some offensive pressure. Drouin follows up his own chance, and look at the pass. I mean, right on the tape, backhand, lightning quick, flat as a flapjack, and McKinnon with a golden chance, but Dubois standing up to make a good stop.
Halifax is pouring it on in this first period. They've outshot Moncton 13-6. But Dubois been good. Halifax just has that one power play goal. Barbashev ahead to Deneau. Deneau chips it past Hardy. Picked up by Duke. Brent Andrews. Stick handling in his own zone. Hardy will join the rush. Hardy's shot. There's Dubois again. He gobbles up another one.
A little more on Dubois and what he has done here now with the Moncton Wildcats. And you look at the start of the year, and they've gone through probably 5 different backup goalies, with Spencer Tremblay and John Chartrand, and now Cole Holowenko, who was released from the Prince Albert Raiders and waved through the Western Hockey League. That can be a tough proposition for a goaltender, not knowing who your partner's going to be, a guy that can challenge you, a guy that you can learn from. And now these two have really settled in, and it's allowed Dubois to step up in front and be that #1 guy.
Darcy Ashley, no lane to the front of the net, makes the pass. Champini raw, point blank by Dubois. Another great ace save from Dubois.
Dubois is so good down low, and he has the ability, because he's a short guy to start with, that when he gets down, he can see traffic between legs. And here's the situation he's faced with as he has to go post to post. Champini's in a perfect spot, but you can see Dubois down in that butterfly, bottom part of the net covered. Champini couldn't get that puck up over his pad. And another good stop here by Dubois, really keeping his Moncton team in it in this first period.
Alain Saulnier, Alex Saulnier. Couple of hacks and whacks from Ferk, got the puck in. Drouin waits for it along the boards. Kicked it into the slot, picked up by Bayou. Foucali bounced at it, knocked it away. Still trouble for Halifax. Narbonne over to Racine. Low shot, blocked, didn't get through. Narbonne. Crowd wants a shot. He didn't have a lane. Bayou in the corner. Battling with McKinnon. Halifax comes up with it. McKinnon pokes it past one man, gives it to Drouin, takes the return feed. McKinnon speeding in. McKinnon's right in. The pass. Oh, what a goal for Halifax. Martin Ferk comes in and finishes it off. The speed of McKinnon. The finish of Ferk. It's 2-0 Mooseheads.
Absolutely spectacular. And after Zach Foucali makes a glove save, he's able now to initiate the breakout. And look at the speed here. Nathan McKinnon starts with a chip. He gives it to Rand, gets it right back. And as McKinnon draws all the defenders, it ends up being Ferk supporting the play with speed from behind, who ends up getting the follow-up. I mean, look at that speed. That's what scouts love about Nathan McKinnon. The ability to have that breakaway speed, that when things are in tight quarters, he leaves the pack in the dust, as he did there. Martin Ferk following up, picks up his 23rd, 2-0 Halifax.
That is a dangerous line. Just over a minute to go here in the first period. A late goal for Halifax. They have poured it on in this opening frame. 16-7. They've outshot the Wildcats. Lalonde He'll have to wait for his teammates to get onside. McCauley knocked him down. When Andrews picks up that puck. Melindy blocked the shot. Fournier. Puck goes past him. Lalonde slides it ahead to Ryan Penny. Ross Johnston's with him. Johnston heads to the front of that. Penny shot might have been going wide. Fucale caught it anyway and hangs on.
Yeah, the wise play when you see the opposition getting momentum, just stop it. But here's Nathan MacKinnon. You look at that speed. You see Narbonne is in the middle, and it's before he gets a chance to look to his left shoulder, MacKinnon's blown by him already. And when you have a guy who can distribute the puck like Jonathan Drouin, you know he's going to find him. MacKinnon has that kind of confidence. These two have that kind of chemistry that MacKinnon didn't even bother once to slow down, to widen his path. He went straight up the gut, and he knew Drouin was going to get him the puck.
Dmitry Yaskin. Tough guy to take the puck from when he's going, he scores! Dmitry Yaskin worked his way out of the corner, put it on goal, and it beats Fucale. Yaskin gets the Wildcats back to within one.
Who else would you expect other than Dmitry Yaskin when the Moncton Wildcats are down and out to come back here in the final minute of that first period, and he simply escapes. The one thing, RJ, that you talked about through the last day and a half we've been here is this guy's ability to keep the puck away from the opposition. He does that with a nifty spin. He throws his rear end out there, and now he circles himself into position where he has a great lane to the net and beats Fucale on a goal surely he would want back. But for the Moncton Wildcats, hugely important to get that goal, maybe start to gain a little confidence here towards the end of the first.
No kidding. There were just 38 seconds remaining in the first when Yaskin scored to make it a one-goal game. Maybe they got a little more. 18 seconds to go, and MacKinnon takes over, slides it over to Hardy. Pass ahead, the bounce pass to Drouin, just redirects it in. 10 seconds to go in the period. Racine, he has to be careful with Drouin and MacKinnon out there. Moves it along the boards. Yaskin takes a hard hit from Furk, and now Racine's going to have a chat with Furk. Racine is 6th in the QMJHL in penalty minutes. Furk won't want any of that.
Guys, don't spend Valentine's...
Terrifying stuff from that line.
No kidding, and some high praise for Dmitry Yaskin. What a great compliment from Philip Deneau to start this period. There's Yaskin, number 26, throwing a hit right in front of that Halifax bench. Conrad Albertshauser. He passed to his defense partner, Trey Lewis. That bounced, and Yaskin was right on Lewis. Albertshauser to Nathan MacKinnon. McKinnon's got some speed. The jersey flying. Tried to slide it to Drouin. That was broken up at the Moncton line. Burke slides it to MacKinnon. MacKinnon with 3 Wildcats around him. Drops it off for Burke. In front was Drouin, and that narrowly missed.
A little slow getting up to goal. He fell awkwardly in his crease.
Yaskin can't get around Lewis. Deneau blocked it along the boards. Lewis another chance. Finds Albertshauser on the open side. Stéphane Fournier. Now Brent Andrews. Can't get around Yannick Veilleux. Alain Saulnier anticipated that play. Got it behind the net to Alex Saulnier. Shot from Veilleux. There's a save. It was in the blue paint, and then shot into the corner by Brent Andrews. Good thing he was back there for Halifax.
No white jerseys around.
Stephen McCauley gets a bump from James Melindy. Alex Saulnier. Pass picked up. Barbashev comes back to slide it ahead to Alain Saulnier.
Yeah, the East Coast Sedins have been quiet so far in this game.
They've been going head-to-head against the MacKinnon line a lot, so that's a tough task, too. Boudreau with a shot off a shin pad. Ross Johnston can't get far. Boudreau knocked it away from him. Jacob Sweeney to Braden Wood. Young defense tandem out there for Moncton. They don't play a lot. Cut it their zone, and Ryan Penny walking in. It's a 2-on-1. Lalonde scores! Christophe Lalonde, 20 goals now on the season, and we're tied early in the second.
Brilliant execution by the Moncton Wildcats as all 3 forwards get in on the act, and it starts with Johnston getting it to Penny. Now, once the Halifax defenseman commits by going to the ice, that leaves a lane wide open for Lalonde. And Lalonde is there to bury it. He has had the hot hand. Give him 20 goals on the season now. And for Lalonde, just outdoing himself over the last couple of the years. And you want to talk about a guy who has slowly developed. This is the guy, and he is having a breakout year for the Moncton Wildcats.
Well, another player hits the 20-goal mark in the Quebec Major Junior Hockey League. And that's a big goal for Moncton. They were down 2-0 in this game. They've evened it up. Buzzing again, Yaska. He's a big body to handle, and McKinnon knocked him off the puck.
Those goals in the last minute of the period are such momentum change.
McKinnon speeding in again. McKinnon has his stick lifted before he can get a shot. Spins away from Bayou in the corner. Behind the net to Firk. He gets away from Racine. Firk slides it back to Albert Sauser. He just bounces one to the front of the net. Drouin. Jonathan Drouin is passed. Albert Sauser missed.
Right here, buddy.
Kelly, the safe play to his defenseman. Conrad Albert Sauser is fourth in defenseman scoring in the Quebec Major Junior Hockey League. He was looking for an assist on a breakaway pass, but it missed everybody and goes for icing.
Christophe Lalonde was a second-round pick of the Lewiston Maniacs going back to 2010. And when they dispersed, the Moncton Wildcats felt that they saw a guy that was going to grow. And you look at his stats over the course of the years. You look at 2010-11. He's playing with Lewiston, just 8 points, then 15 points. And this year has been unbelievable. Give him 20 goals now on the season. It's been a fantastic rise to prominence for Christophe Lalonde.
Jonathan Drouin spots Marty Firk. Albert Sauser's joining the rush. The puck gets to DeBow, and he cleared it just in time. Ivan Barbashev trying to stick handle his way through the Halifax Mooseheads. Trey Lewis was the one who stopped him, and this is whistled down with a glove pass.
Yeah, that mighty Mo has really swung in favor of the home side here with Barbashev and the Moncton Wildcats. And getting that goal by Yaskin, not a particularly good goal, with 37 seconds left in that first period, allowed Moncton to go into the room with some confidence. And surely Danny Flynn had some things to say about his club. 4 starts they've gotten off to in each of the last 3 games. But the great equalizer here to start the second period has brought Moncton back to square with Halifax.
Austin Hardy. Pass to Calday. Max Lindsay can't get far. Brendan Duke makes a pretty good move. Duke slides it down for McCall. Right back to Duke. A couple of Cole Harbour boys working it back and forth. Another chance for Duke. That's off the shoulder of Dubois, and it goes out of play.
This Halifax Mooseheads team has been the ire of everybody throughout the course of this season. Just 5 regulation losses and talent up and down the lineup. And you look at a guy like McCauley, drafted by St. Louis, never signed, now playing for a professional contract. A guy who played in 2 MasterCard Memorial Cups with the St. John Sea Dogs. Each of these teams has gone out to acquire a player that has that MasterCard Memorial Cup experience, because truly there's nothing like it.
Christophe Lalonde in a foot race. He can sniff that offensive zone now. Gets a little extra jump in his step. Melindy, a shot through traffic. Lalonde has it, and Lalonde scores again. Back-to-back goals for Christophe Lalonde, and Moncton has battled from a 2-goal deficit to take the lead.
In the nicest way possible, you call this guy a little rat. Why? Because he's always around. You can't swat him away. He's all over Duke, going back to the defensive blue line. He wins a battle there. And then as the puck gets freed, Halifax can't clear the zone, and Lalonde does the smart thing. Once Moncton has possession, he goes to the front of the net. He's all over Fucali. He uses his rear end to shield himself, and now has a lane to the net. Picks up his second goal here in a short span of time. And the Moncton Wildcats go from down 0-2 to up 3-2.
The Wildcats, this is the first time they're meeting the Mooseheads since they made their trades. They feel they're a better team. They feel they can compete with the best. And now They're going to be feeling pretty good about themselves in this game.
Yeah, they sure do. And because the season series is 8 games long, this is the 5th game of those 8 meetings. And through the previous 4, it's been dominated by the Halifax Mooseheads. Other than shots on goal, the goals for, the power plays, hugely in favor of the Mooseheads. Moncton trying to turn the tides tonight.
The one big game for Moncton in that set was on November 25th. They shut out Halifax 3-0. That's the only time this season that Halifax, the highest scoring team in the Q, has been shut out.
And we talked to Roger Shannon, the director of scouting for the Moncton Wildcats, said about a perfect game as he's seen. And the guy who works with the UNB program and CIS has seen a lot of hockey in his years.
Bouncing puck in front of the Moncton goal. Gathered in by Alex Saulnier. Play Lewis to Darcy Ashley. Ashley goes wide on Saulnier. Saulnier's on his back. Shot knocked away by Imon before it got to the net. Barbashev banks it out to center. Play Lewis rifles one right on Dubois. Handled that one. Mackenzie Weegar from Ottawa. His pass to McKinnon went under his stick, and it's icing on Halifax.
Yeah, Weegar played for the Nepean Raiders in the 2011-2012 season at 50 points. He won the CCHL Rookie of the Year. Played in the Fred Page Cup. And then he does not end up going to any Ontario Hockey League team. He gets picked up by Rouen. Halifax makes a trade to acquire him, and he has been outstanding. Look at this, leading with a plus 38, but a guy whose point totals have really picked up since the start of December, operating at about a point per game.
And not only leads the QMJHL with that plus minus, or not only leads his team, he leads the whole QMJHL, plus 38.
Ranked 208 by National Hockey League Central Scouting, and that is sure to rise.
Dadon knocks it out of midair. Weegar comes up with it. Bayou was hunting him down, but he got rid of it over to Trey Lewis. Drouin, one hands it into the Moncton zone. Jonathan Racine, Florida Panthers property. Off the glass, Dano chops at it. Bayou drops it off for Yaskin. Yaskin, toe drag, takes a shot. That stunned Weegar. Shot from a sharp angle. Fucali hugged the post. Now Yaskin. And Weegar throwing some shots. Murphy's in there. And nothing will materialize there. Just a save by Fucali. And how about the Wildcats? They've taken the lead.
You have it, please,
Christophe Lalonde's out there again for Halifax, or for Moncton. They get another chance against Halifax. Lalonde's wearing number 94. He scored twice in this period. Turned over. Johnston, he's got a couple of assists this period.
There's Lalonde again, right in the mix. In on the forecheck, creates the turnover, and then hanging around the net. He's a little rat.
Mooseheads get the puck out. Won't be icing. James Molindi, property of the Phoenix Coyotes. Circles the net. Slides it ahead to Penny. Johnston up at center. He had Fournier all lined up, and Fournier spun away from that potential check. Yannick Imon, plenty of time behind his own goal to set up. Matthew Boudreau letting him stay behind his net. Makes the pass. 2 good passes, and Moncton's away. Shot from Saulnier. Stopped by Fucali. Luca Ciampini, his pass picked off by Alain Saulnier, sent down the ice. Nobody there for Moncton, so that will be icing.
The 2 really good coaches going head-to-head with Danny Flynn of Moncton and Dominic Ducharme of the Halifax Mooseheads, and neither one of them wants to bite here. You'll see the setup looks like a Kitchener-London game from last year, where everyone was perfectly set up. How they want to break out, how they want to defend. Moncton wins this battle with the shot on goal from Saulnier all the way back from their own end on the breakup.
Alex Saulnier wins the faceoff against Nathan McKinnon. They're among the league leaders in faceoffs. Saulnier coming in, heading to the front of the net. Barbashev. Saulnier was just out there to take that draw. Barbashev against 5 Mooseheads. Maintained possession for a moment. Now McKinnon with that great speed. He gets to his high-end speed in a hurry.
Amazing, that ability to accelerate. And, you know, you talk about guys who have high-end speed, but the ability to get there quicker, that's another element that scouts look for and why Nathan MacKinnon is so highly thought.
Martin Firk trying to find a seam to get that shot through. It just missed. Stephen McCauley. Only just asked about him to Dominic Ducharme. Thinking offense right now. There's a save by Dubois, and Jaskin takes that rebound away. One-on-one with Barbashev. Now catching up is Deneau. Deneau back to Barbashev in front. Uyghur broke it up. Jaskin stole it though. Barbashev a shot off the side of the net. Deneau guarding that puck along the boards. Fournier's able to clear it to center. Mackenzie Uyghur blocked the shot earlier. Seems to be fine. He's knocked down there by Jaskin, and Jaskin's going to get penalized for it.
Uyghur a little slow on the draw here, and Jaskin will go to the box in a dangerous play. Danny Flynn looking on, very concerned. Get another look at it as Uyghur stops. Jaskin realizes he's going to miss, and so what does he do? He sticks out his leg instead. A nice slick move by Uyghur to avoid the forecheck, and as he does so, Jaskin comes in, clips the knee, and now he'll go to the box.
Heading to the room as well. Looked like it might have been MacKinnon for Halifax. And a penalty coming up for the Mooseheads. Well, this is a bad few seconds for Halifax. So much for their power play.
There goes Fournier to the box, and now Dominic Ducharme looks on and says, hey, we've got a great power play here. We've just given up that opportunity with Fournier going to the penalty box. And so a ton of room here with two very talented teams in a 4-on-4 situation. Racine going back to get the puck, and you can see Fournier's stick come right up into his grill.
Well, that was a quick 9-second power play. Now we'll play 4-on-4. Ray Lewis looking for that lead pass. Stephen McCauley. Dubois well out of his net to play it. It's okay in the QMJHL for goalies to play it in the corner.
Yeah, you don't see that trapezoid back behind the net.
Now there's another high stick. That's on Drouin. Saulnier's drawn the penalty, and all of a sudden, in a matter of seconds, Halifax goes from having a power play to be down a man.
Saulnier going right to the officials to try and draw that extra deuce. Trying to spit up blood or cut himself like Jimmy Superfly Snuka used to do back in wrestling. It's not going to work, though. And Duran, so good with his stick, gets a little careless with it here. And it's a one-handed slash that ends up right into the face of Saulnier, and now Jonathan Drouin is off for high stick.
Lots of room out there. 4-on-3 power play for Moncton. Alain Saulnier gets it to Narbonne. Narbonne's third in defenseman scoring in the queue. One-time shot from Philip Deneau. That's kicked aside. In front of the net is Alex Saulnier. Narbonne down to Alain Saulnier. Alain Saulnier looking cross-ice. Deneau takes a shot. That one's off the side of the net. Pretty good skill to land that pass in time for Deneau to take the one-timer. Narbonne right into the top of the circle. That hit something in front. Might have been deflected before it got to Fucali, but he kept it out. Finally, Halifax touches it and is able to send it the length of the ice.
Got some iron in that one. Fucali looking to his left.
Fans in the Moncton Coliseum getting behind the home team. They want to see a little something here. They've come back from a 2-0 deficit to take a 3-2 lead. Now a 4-on-3 power play. Wildcats having trouble getting inside the Moosehead zone. James Malindi. Head to Ivan Barbashev. Barbashev's third in rookie scoring in the queue. Malindi, plenty of time. James Malindi not shooting yet. Gives it to Barbashev. Barbashev back to Malindi. Shot from Racine. Not a lot on that. Trey Lewis was down for the block. Didn't know where it went. The stick of Dubois alerting his teammates. They'll have a really brief two-man advantage here. Bayou to Malindi. Melindy doesn't shoot. This two-man advantage is evaporating. Fournier's back on the ice, trying to get back in the play. It's a 5-on-4 power play for the next 15 seconds for Moncton. Dimitri Yaskin to Racine. Now Melindy. There's a shot. It's deflected. Fukeli's looking for it. Lewis has knocked it to the corner. Yaskin scores! Dimitri Yaskin does it again! Big celebration, a power play goal, and Moncton's up by 2.
All of that time for Moncton with a 5-on-3, and it didn't quite work out. And so when Yaskin comes back onto the ice, you know he's about to get something done. He wants to make amends for the penalty he took. And very similar to the way he scored with 37 seconds left in the first period at the other end, he emerges from the corner and at about the dot, turns the corner, puts it low along the ice, and is able to get it through Zachary Fukali. And what a turn of events here for the Moncton Wildcats, who through the first 15 minutes of this game looked like they were out of it. And you don't see this often, but Zachary Fukali has been pulled. And I would have to say, based mostly on the 2 Yaskin goals against him.
Chris Clark, 19-year-old from Halifax, has not played a lot this season. A good record on a good team. And now he has come in to relieve Zach Fukali, who has been so good for the Mooseheads all season long.
It's funny, you look at that situation. We saw something similar in Rimouski last year where Fukali was pulled in what was a very lopsided loss for Halifax, but he rebounded, and that's one thing that scouts like, but not a particularly fun night for the young netminder here in Moncton tonight.
Matthew Boudreau, his pass, that's behind Matt Murphy. Campini takes a shot, and that was a quick glove from Dubois. Campini got his first point in his last 10 games, an assist in the first period, so he needed a point. Working hard to keep this puck in. Can't do it with 3 Wildcats right there. Murphy leading the rush for Halifax. Lofts one toward Dubois, and he has not been busy this period. Able to make that save, and Dimitri Yaskin, he celebrated like that 38 times this year. Moncton's up by 2.
I'm gonna need it.
Gotta have the breakfast of champions. Big hit from Yaskin. What isn't he doing in this game? Big hit on Martin Firk from Dimitri Yaskin. Firk's pass, that's picked off by Yaskin. Yaskin played a couple of years in the Czech Pro League. Didn't play a lot, but you can tell he's played against men.
And when it came time to draft him, he was a rather unknown commodity in the CHL import draft, because if you strictly look at numbers, and you know, teams don't always have the resources or the ability to go and scout players. Well, Danny Flynn knew what he was getting when Yaskin was selected 22nd overall in the CHL import draft.
Brendan Duke from open ice, his pass into the skates of McCauley. McCauley has to spin back. Now Conrad Albertshausen. His pass picked off at center by Ryan Penny. Penny overskated it. Stéphane Fournier, he's got 28 goals on the season. Fournier, pass in front. Oh, the move by Drouin, maybe one too many. Had Dubois down and out. Low shot, another chance for Drouin, side of the net. Well, Drouin, frustrated, takes it out on Penny and knocked into the ice. Penny picks that pass off, and it trickles to Dubois, and he will make sure to get that whistle.
Drouin is some kind of hot. He better be careful now. He took a shove at Penny, took one at Lalonde. And here, as that puck is turned over, Fournier brings it back in. Now he makes a great move here to buy himself some space, because he knows he has Drouin right there. And I think you're right, RJ, with a left-handed shot, that's right on his tape. You want to release that puck as opposed to make that extra move. And so Jonathan Drouin has one taken away from him. One of the rare times where he outsmarted himself.
Well, he's a player who's averaging over 2 points per game in the QMJHL. That's not easy to do. Right off the face-off, a hard shot.
Boudreau got something on that.
Well, he's found the back of the net 30 times, so he knows how to fire it.
I like Dubois' game tonight. He looks a lot more excitable. He looks into it. He looks focused. And it is funny, RJ, because when we had that conversation with him after practice yesterday, he was feeling more confident. Here's a guy that came into the league as a highly touted prospect, and playing with Shawinigan could never really get that #1 job. Gabriel Girard and he split most of the time last year. He started the Cup. Girard finished it. This is the first time in his career here, 3 years in the QMJHL, that he's been the #1 guy, and he is now just starting to feel comfortable.
Well, they practiced for close to 2 hours, and there wasn't a shot he didn't put 100% effort on. You play like you practice, and he was into every shot. Guys were trying rebounds on him, and he was following every one of them. He had an intense practice yesterday, and it's paying off.
He did, and I like the part that he still had fun while doing it. And it goes to show that, yes, you can still work hard, but you can still enjoy yourself while out there as well. And I've been impressed with Dubois' game here tonight.
Well, now it's up to him to backstop this 2-goal lead for the Moncton Wildcats. Trying to extend their winning streak on home ice at the Coliseum to 9 straight. And they're taking on the #1 team in the Quebec Major Junior Hockey League that's a little disjointed right now, and without Nathan McKinnon right now, who is out with a lower body injury and questionable whether he'll return.
Dominic Ducharme, one thing he told us before the game is that his Halifax team hasn't played in a ton of close games. And as this club moves towards the playoffs, close games are something that they need to have more experience in. And this is a great example of that. 2-0, things are going good. We're playing well. We've won a ton of games, 5 regulation losses, and then the tides turn. You're down 4-2. I mean, he's got his work cut out for him here to get his team back on track here throughout the remainder of the second and into the third.
Mackenzie Weegar, Deneau's right on him. Deneau has stolen the puck in front. Veilleux, he couldn't handle the pass. Philip Deneau. That cross-ice pass is picked off by Drouin. Lofts it into the Moncton zone. Imon takes a hard hit along the boards from Brent Andrews. Veilleux, stick handling at center, slides it into the Halifax zone. Murphy will have to hurry. Yaskin's there. Yaskin has the puck now. Yaskin in front, puts it in. Is Penny. A penny for your thoughts. Ryan Penny, another goal for Moncton, and it's 5-2 Wildcats.
This Yaskin is starting to prove that he is a man amongst boys playing in this game, and I think St. Louis has done Moncton a favor. It all starts here with Veilleux. Look at the nifty move in the neutral zone. He gains center, and now he dumps it in. From there on, it's Yaskin in the forecheck. Creates the turnover, jam sandwich. That doesn't work, keeps trying. Penny comes in and finally gets it to go. But Yaskin with that good reach, that strength. There's Penny on the doorstep. But I love the play by Veilleux in the neutral zone. 2 nifty moves to get the puck deep, and that allowed Yaskin to go in the forecheck. Penny is the beneficiary of the great play by Dmitry Yaskin.
Well, Yaskin's having a night. That's his 3rd point. Came in 4th in points, 4th in goals. And this is a 3-goal lead for Moncton.
And this is something that Halifax is not used to. Not at all.
Well, especially when they had a 2-goal lead. 5 unanswered from the Wildcats. And there's still over 2 minutes to go here in the second. Martin Firk taking his time. Big circle into his own zone. Stephen McCauley joining the rush is Albert Sauser. Poked away from him by Lalonde. Brendan Duke. Stutter step got away from Johnston. Albert Sauser retreating. Pass finds McCauley. Firk's pass. Johnson can't clear. Albitshauser. Now Firk. There's a shot. Traffic in front. Cleared out. And that did hit something, I believe. Moncton didn't clear it straight into the crowd.
I think it might have even gone into the Halifax bench area. And so this Moncton team that really got off to a poor start has really started to pick things up. Penny with his 15th of the year.
Another guy having a career year for the Wildcats. James Molindi, he's got a couple of assists in this game. One of the Saulnier is going to hit the score sheet. They're not used to not putting up some big points.
A lot of weird things going on. Zachary Fucali pulled. Halifax down by 3 goals. The Saulniers without a point. One of those crazy nights.
Bayou picks that clearing pass off. Gets it to Deneau. Molindi smoothly over to Imon. Imon's shot is blocked by Ashley. Yaskin's out there. 26 in white, trying to steal another puck in the offensive zone. Can't do it this time. Imon moves it to center. Won't be icing. Hardy's going to be caught by Yaskin. Hardy able to fend Yaskin off, now trying to rough him up a bit. Drouin speeding into the zone. Chance, point blank for Ashley. And there's Dubois again. Lalonde has some speed entering the Halifax zone alone in front of Penny. Knocks it down. Clark the save.
This Lalonde's all over the place. I love his game.
Chances in both ends. Well, we talked about Moncton having 2 really good lines. This line of Lalonde, Penny, and Johnston isn't too bad either.
It's performed really well for Danny Flynn tonight. And when you can go beyond secondary scoring, that usually bodes well for your hockey club. And it did in the second period for Moncton.
If you had a choice between
Into that left leg, and he skated off gingerly. We have yet to see him since, and what a big loss that would be for the Halifax Mooseheads.
Halifax comes into this third period down by 3 goals. They had a 2-0 lead. Moncton looking sharp at the Coliseum tonight. Alain Saulnier right on. Chris Clark now in goal for the Halifax Mooseheads. He will lead Zachary Fucali in the second period. Ray Lewis shot. That's off the stick. Goes wide. Sharp angle attempt. That hits something and goes out of play.
Yeah, amazing to think that this is actually a really good test for Halifax, because this situation they rarely see, and have rarely seen it all season long. And now you have a Moncton team that at the deadline went out and got to know, got a little bit better, got a better Yaskin as a result, coming along too, and saying, hey, you're not the only team here in the Maritimes, you're not the only team in the Quebec League that's going to make some noise. Moncton sending a message, as Christophe Lalonde said, and now Halifax, it's turn to respond.
We'd like to welcome to the Coliseum tonight the Wildcats.
Dominic Ducharme, who's done such a wonderful job here in year 2. He was left Steve Hartley, the son of Bob, and then Jim Midley, the other member of the coaching staff. And they've got their work cut out for them. And it's not problematic. It's not like the world's caving in or falling in around them. But these are the exact situations this coaching staff wants to find itself in to really give its team a test.
Well, Halifax has only lost 5 times in regulation all season long. Now a little adversity on Friday night hockey. Jonathan Drouin, he's in on the forecheck. He seems to have a bit of a burr under his saddle since McKinnon left. Clark will play that puck. Deneau along the boards. He can't come up with it. Duke's cross-ice pass finds Martin Furk. Furk gets it to Drouin. Right back to Furk. Now to Andrews. What a save by Dubois. Alex Dubois with another big save comes across and robs Andrews, and he's done that in this game, Sam. When Halifax has had chances, he's had some big saves, especially in that first period.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, and that's huge because you get into the first minute and a half of a period, and what it tells you is that Halifax has wanted to come out with more gusto here and try and get back in this game and resend that message back to Moncton. But Alex Dubois was having none of it, and this is a tough play for a small goaltender to have to go post to post. An athletic save nonetheless, and Dubois makes the stop. But if you're talking about a team that can come back from a 3-goal deficit, it would have to be the highest scoring team in the Canadian Hockey League. The Halifax Mooseheads just under 5 goals per game, and Moncton proving its worth to be in the top 5 with a 5-goal performance here tonight.
Another chance up the face-off. That was Ciampini, and Dubois was there on the short side, gathered in the rebound and gets the whistle.
The little brick wall on the mask. Shades of the MasterCard Memorial Cup. Family first is his motto. He's got a tattoo with the same saying, and he looks like a different guy to me this year.
Halifax winning some faceoffs here, creating some chances. Darcy Ashley has it behind the net. Back to Murphy. Quick pass over to Hardy. That was deflected. Slow to get up in the corner is Ashley. He just got up now. And he looks to be a little bit dinged up as he heads to the Halifax bench very slowly.
Very slowly.
Ross Johnston trying to shield that puck along the boards. Halifax applying some pressure. Melindy wraps it around. Christophe Lalonde pokes it past Murphy, and it'll come into the Halifax zone. That lead pass doesn't find anyone. A Halifax sweater, so the Mooseheads charged with icing.
A little out of sync right now, the Halifax Mooseheads, and starting to show some frustration. We've seen that teams going to the bench for line changes at the end of plays, in between the whistles, things starting to happen. Jonathan Drouin showing signs of frustration.
Murphy circles the net. Alain Saulnier knew where the puck was going the whole time, waited for it, kept it in for the time being. Stephen McCauley gets it out, right back in by Saulnier. Ray Lewis.
Saulnier and Drouin getting into it at the blue line.
Well, Drouin's been really angry.
He's used that stick a lot more than passing and shooting tonight.
Now it depends how he uses that anger. Can he use it to spark the Mooseheads?
You know, it's funny, RJ, we showed Nathan McKinnon having not returned from what looks to be a lower body injury. But when we talked to some scouts here the last couple of days, the one thing they said, yeah, Jonathan Drouin. But Nathan McKinnon is the guy who creates a lot of space for Drouin. And it's true. He has not had the same kind of space since McKinnon's left this game.
No question about it. And maybe that's the result of the frustration.
Could very well be, because guys are all over him now. They can kind of focus and hone in on Drouin.
Well, how's this for hemming a team in? Halifax can't get out of their zone. They got it to center, not much past. Wildcats take over possession. Dumont gets it ahead to Dano. He'll take a change, dump it in, 3-goal lead. It's comfortable for the Wildcats. They're happy to have a few seconds tick off the clock. Lalonde wants a little offense, though. He needs one more for the hat trick. Number 94 for the Wildcats. He's tapping his stick by that Halifax blue line. Lalonde, he doesn't want to go off. He wants another chance at that hat trick. Halifax, a chance by Trey Lewis, almost went coast to coast. Ross Johnston to the line. That'll be kept in by the Mooseheads. Dubois plays it to the corner. Andrews, he was robbed earlier this period by Dubois. Liam Alcalde gets it to Andrews. That pass hit a skate. Goes all the way back into the Moosehead zone. James Melindy, couple of points in this game. Phoenix property. Pass to center. Wayne Saulnier. He can't get far, but Wildcats maintain possession. Barbashev redirects it in. Chris Clark leaves it by the net footer. Trey Lewis.
Moncton does a really good job spreading the ice. We saw it some in the first period. We're starting to see it more now here in the third.
Alex Saulnier with an interception all alone in front. What a save by Clark. A great chance for Ivan Barbashev.
Paid the price, too. He took an elbow right in the chop.
Well, there's a look at what the Saulniers can do. Great anticipation, pretty good pass. Barbashev just didn't finish. Darcy Ashley, good to see him back on the ice after gingerly leaving earlier. Jacob Sweeney. As Ashley come in, take that puck. Sweeney knocks him down. Yannick Veilleux looking for the loose puck. Comes back to Austin Hardy. Hardy's shot. That's stopped in the slot area. Halifax couldn't get it to the net. Boudreau. Ashley. in front. Chance for Ciampini, and he scores. Luca Ciampini. That's a big goal for Halifax. Mooseheads are within 2.
We saw a great save from Alex Dubois at the start of this third period. And you thought at that point, all right, this is a turning point. But here, Ciampini will not be denied. Good job keeping the puck in the line by Austin Hardy. And from there, pressure being able to be maintained by the Halifax Mooseheads. Ciampini pushes off of his check, and by doing so, creates some space to take that pass. And the lightning quick release has Dubois slightly out of position. And Ciampini, who had 9 games without a point, has a goal and an assist in this one. And a perfect, opportune time for Halifax. You could see in stages of this period that Moncton was saying to itself, all right, let's not try to make a mistake here. Let's not wake the sleeping bear. Let's just kind of hang on here at home with a 3-goal lead. That's not going to cut it against a very good Halifax team.
Still, first half of the third period. 6 minutes and 29 seconds have been played in this third. Halifax has scored. They're within 2 on Friday Night Hockey.
When you're driving along in your stays.ca.
Halifax trying to muster a comeback. They'll have another face-off inside the Moncton zone, and they've been pretty good on face-offs in the offensive zone.
It's also a good spot for Moncton, Ben. We talked about Halifax having to face some adversity coming into this third period. Well, you know, the same goes for the Moncton Wildcats. It's not exactly easy street just because you're up 3.
McCauley doing a pretty good job against one of the top face-off men in the league, Alex Saulnier. Here's Christophe Lalonde. As Johnston catching up, heading to the front of the net. Lalonde lofts a backhand in there, and Clark slides across and makes the save.
Clark may start to become a key piece in this game for the Mooseheads. And, you know, over the course of this season, the Mooseheads now playing in their 51st game. That is just the 9th time in which they've trailed after 2 periods of play. So Dominic Ducharme's team is definitely in unfamiliar territory.
13:07 to go in the third. Moncton off the face-off. Boy, Jaskin, he's dangerous from all over the place. That one narrowly missed. Puck stolen by Bayou. Jaskin's in front. He's looking for a hat trick, too. Puck went to Clark, and he gobbled it up before Jaskin could get to it.
Halifax wants to consider coming back in this hockey game. The one thing that the Mooseheads are going to have to do is take better care of the puck, better puck management. And the opportunity to clear is clearly taken away here. And Jaskin on the doorstep with an opportunity, just couldn't get the puck stopped in order to get a shot.
Off the face-off, they score! Yannick Bayou, and that restores the 3-goal lead for Moncton.
Bayou is one of those guys who you need on a hockey club, who's not going to be your superstar guy, but he's going to be a key piece to a championship hockey club as he was last year. And as the puck just sits around the dot, you can see Boudreau just throw his hands up in the air. I mean, Deneau's got it. He won't give way on the draw. But Moncton is much more diligent after that puck is dropped than what Halifax is. And as a result, Bayou picks up the goal.
Well, it's been a good season for Bayou, getting close to his career high, which was 27 goals last year with Shawinigan.
Another St. Louis pick, so he and Jaskin looking pretty good for Bill Armstrong's drafting.
No kidding. They've been playing together in the last half of this game, and they have been very effective. St. Louis might want to put a little bookmark on that these two might be on a line down the road.
Yeah, that could very well be the case. And boy, it's Jaskin not too excitable in that first period. Bayou, just going about his business. And I love this game because he has a patient game. And Bayou can look around and he can see Deneau and he can see Jaskin and Barbashev and everyone else around him. But here's the guy who gives you that consistent effort, shift in and shift out.
just when Halifax was getting some momentum here in the third. That is a huge goal for Yannick Veilleux and the Moncton Wildcats. Back up by 3. Jonathan Drouin trying to do it himself. He was knocked down by Saulnier. Brendan Duke trying to get past Dano. Brent Andrews, his property of the Predators. Drops it off for Furt. Furt can't shoot. Puts it into the skates of Andrews. Couldn't convert that into a shot. And Jaskin's right back out there. Veilleux's heading to the front of the net. Uyghur knocks it off Jaskin's stick. And those two collide. That was a stalemate. 2-on-1 on Jaskin in the corner. Veilleux comes in to help out. Furt just scoops it outside the zone. Narbonne sends it back in. Forward line for Moncton gets a change. Furt comes to center. 4 Wildcats waiting for him as he gets to the line. That shot doesn't get through. Another opportunity. It's in. Alcalde got the shot and it just trickled in. And now Halifax breaks to within 2 again.
Dubois, who was so solid through the first 2 periods plus, has now shown some chinks in his armor. Danny Flynn looks on as to whether or not he might consider making goaltending change. The last 2 goals given up by Dubois, somewhat soft. And it starts with a Martin Burke rush who goes end to end, and as he gets denied, that puck is able to make its way across ice into a perfect position for Alcalde, and a guy who does not play a lot does a pretty good job making sure that that lane is open to get to him. His first goal of the year. And just when you think the Halifax Mooseheads are dead to rights, they come back like a zombie, and now just down 2 goals with more than a half period to play.
And for Liam Alcalde, that's his first point in his rookie campaign in the QMJHL.
Nice way to do it on national TV.
Why not? And to get a little momentum back for the Mooseheads. Here we go. Just over 11 minutes remaining in the third, and it's a 2-goal game. Mawindi rifles one in. Ross Johnston can't come up with it along the boards. Trey Lewis. His pass knocked down by Johnston. Lalonde almost in behind the defense, but big 6'5". Conrad Albertshauser knocked it down. Alcalde, he's leading the rush. Still out there for the Mooseheads. Max Lindsay working hard to steal, and Alcalde throws a big hit. That knocked Penny down now. Alcalde and Imon throwing the right hands toe-to-toe. Imon comes in after the big hit thrown by Alcalde. And what a scrap between those two.
The way Imon was throwing those rights, he might need Tommy John. I mean, that was unbelievable. Those gloves were off in a heartbeat. And you could see Alcalde, he was on our side of the ice, and he had in his sights Penny the entire way. And he'll enter your screen and just throw that elbow up at Penny. Now, Penny did a good job to get out of the way. His glove flies off, shoulder and head snap back, and Amon says, no, you're not going to do that. No, sirree. And just like there were Vaseline on the hands, his gloves come off in a hurry, and the jackhammers start to go as the two exchange, and a pretty good tussle there.
Alcalde giving up some size, hung right in there. Now a credit to Liam Alcalde on that hit. He did not target the head of Penny. He did get the shoulder of him. Maybe the message is sinking in. And
Daryl Seward, the assistant coach for Moncton's, pointing to his head as if to say that there should be a penalty to Alcalde for a hit to the head, and that's why the officials are being gathered here. And Amon looks like he's going to leave this game.
Just watching that replay, it looked like he missed the head and got the shoulder.
But if you're a coach and you're watching it live and you see that head snap back, that would definitely be your intuition.
Well, we'll get another look at it here.
Here's Alcalde. Yeah, it looks like it's a shoulder to shoulder, but because of the impact, it does throw the head back. Here's another look at it there. And Amon immediately jumps Alcalde and says, you're not going to get away with that kind of predatory hit on my player.
You know, that might be an example of the message sinking into players as they go through the ranks in hockey, because he easily could have got the head of Brian Penny.
Yeah. I didn't like, though, how he chased him down from about the middle of the ice over. I mean, there's something to be said about that as well.
Well, it's been an eventful couple of minutes for Liam Alcalde. His first goal in the QMJHL, and gets into a fight in front and center.
Wildcats number 55, and then came all 2 minutes to being the instigator, 5-minute fighting major, and 10-minute misconduct.
And you can see there Alcalde, you know, a guy who's not used to the score sheet, gets on there with his first goal, and is leaking a little there in the penalty box as a result of that scrap.
Well, he took a few, but to his credit, he hung right in there. A lot happening tonight on Friday Night Hockey. A 2-0 lead for Halifax. Moncton had 5 unanswered to take a 3-goal lead. Nathan McKinnon left with an injury. Zach Fucali was pulled. And right now, it's Moncton with a 2-goal lead. It's 6-4 with half a period to go here in the third. Moncton's offside. Moncton, what a comeback in this game. Yaskin, Dano, and Bayou out there for Moncton right off the faceoff. Yaskin comes up with it. Chris Clark wraps it around. Dano's waiting for it along the boards. Philip Dano, property of the Blackhawks, gets it to Yaskin. Yaskin chasing after it. Uyghur tries to bump in. Yaskin eludes that. Almost got to the front of the net. Duke had to bat that puck away. Drouin trying to go 1-on-2. Drouin still with it. Just shot right on, and Dubois made the save.
You get the sense that Jonathan Drouin is trying to do things all on his own here. I mean, he doesn't have his line mate Nathan McKinnon. He showed frustration, and you know, the gaps that he experienced while Nathan McKinnon was here are no longer there. In a perfect one-on-one play, he still got the shot off, but from far enough past the circle that an easy save for Dubois.
Ray Lewis tried to keep it in. Gets a little help from Andrews. That puck is deflected out of play. He did. No, he did. Andrews trying to call the penalty. Right away, Saulnier saying, no, that was off Andrews.
7th-round pick of the Nashville Predators in the 2011 draft. He's had some under-18 experience. Played with Team Atlantic at the under-17s. Saulnier chop off Andrews' stick. And there's the evidence.
That was worth a try. Stefan Fournier. He's pinned up against the boards by Jacob Sweeney. Sweeney ahead to Johnston. There's the safe play off the glass. Salbertshauser, a little bit of trouble handling it. This might be a 2-on-1. Johnston over to Penny. Saved by Clark. Rebound gathered in by Trey Lewis. Again, this third line for Moncton, making things happen.
We liked what we saw in practice from this third line yesterday. And it's funny, RJ, you mentioned it already. If you practice the way you want to play, you'll have success.
Martin Firth, coast to coast, but ran out of real estate. Couldn't get it to the net. Braden Wood puts it to Saulnier. Now, twin brother Alain takes a hit from Albertshauser, but cleared the zone. Drouin's back out there. Drouin's pass off the skate of Saulnier. Drouin came up with a puck, got a shot, tried to shovel it in front. Alex Saulnier slowing things down, gets it to Alain. Matt Murphy. He can't stick handle around Barbashev. Down to 8 minutes to go here for Halifax. Uyghur. He was cut off by Bayou at center. Jonathan Narbonne. High praise for Narbonne from head coach Danny Flynn. Acquired earlier in the season. Just seemed to solidify things.
Yeah, he's like the glue to this team. He's friends to everybody. He plays a lot of minutes. He doesn't complain. He works hard.
Cano blocks a shot, gets it to Yaskin. Bayou starting to speed down the far side. He'll head to the corner. Duke saw him coming. Made the pass to Uyghur. Matthew Boudreau. He'll let Darcy Ashley chase after it. James Melindy. And St. John's, Newfoundland gets there first. That one's blocked. Chance for Ashley. And he scores. Uh-oh. Halifax is now within one.
Oh, man, just like that, this thing's turned around. And, you know, we showed you the graphic that they're the highest scoring team in the Canadian Hockey League at 4.94 goals per game. And anyone at that time who could erase a 3-goal deficit, it would be the Halifax Mooseheads. And now they're starting to chip it in. Now watch James Melindy. Here he has an opportunity here, but as Ashley backs off, Melindy puts it right on Ashley's tape. And now Halifax is able to keep it into the zone. And you'll see as they get Dubois going side to side, it's in the back of the net in a heartbeat. And Ashley with the goal, who was the guy originally into the forecheck, gets rewarded for it.
Wow, just when it looked like a 3-goal lead and the third would be safe for Moncton. Halifax has closed the gap. They're down 6-5, and they're doing it without Nathan McKinnon. He left in the second period with a lower body injury. Alex Saulnier gets roughed up by Trey Lewis. Dominic Boscheman able to clear the zone. Melindy can't get it past Andrews. Melindy still trying. Boscheman has his pocket pick. Barbashev slid it into the Halifax zone. Elbitshauser lead pass. Boscheman was covering. Chris Clark gets it to Elbitshauser. Comes to the line. Narbonne deflected in front by Deneau. There's a good save by Clark. Deneau reaching for it. Cleared away. Bayou shot. That's off his skate. Yaskin has it. Tried the wrap around. The pad of Clark was there. And he jumps on the rebound.
And Clark now starting to prove his wares in goal, coming in to replace Zachary Fucali after he allowed 4 goals and 15 shots. And all they've really asked him to do is just hold the fort here. And you know, you look at this Halifax team, and the coaching staff will tell you they were really galvanized. When Nathan McKinnon, Jonathan Drouin left to play at the World Juniors, everyone else got an opportunity to step up into increased roles.
Bayou, Deneau, Yaskin starting to move it around again. Bayou got the shot right on, and Clark makes another save and hangs on for the whistle. Oh, what a finish ahead on Friday Night Hockey. It's a 1-goal game with over 5 minutes to go. 2 goals from Halifax. It's a 1-goal game. 5:48 to go. Mackenzie Uyghur, dangerous in front of his net. Bayou trying to pick it off. Yaskin's in there. Drouin, the one-touch pass. Stephen McCauley. Let's Burke chase it down. He tried a sharp angle shot. Daniel Alfredson scored a sharp angle shot last night. Kind of what Burke was looking for there.
You never know.
Pass in front of the net. Nobody there for Moncton. McCauley had to act quick to clear that puck away. Cleared it pretty well, too. Right to Drouin. Jonathan Drouin. Oh, he was looking for Burke. Picked off by Dimitri Yaskin. Yaskin back to Bayou. Bayou has to circle the net. Open at the point is Sweeney. Slants it over to Melindy. Blocked in front. It sat there a moment for Deneau. Deneau still with it. He put that right on. Clark made the save. Shot. That just goes wide. Darcy Ashley had that big 5th goal for Halifax. Put it in front. Drouin. He was all tied up with Sweeney down there. Hardy quickly to Brendan Duke. Sweeney off the glass. Gets to the line. Out to center. Halifax coming on a little bit. Ashley shot right on, and Dubois hangs on for a save. Thanks very much, guys. 4:15 to go here in the third. Halifax continuing to put shots on goal, looking for that equalizer. Clark leads it behind the net for Trey Lewis. Conrad Elbitshauser. Picked off. Moncton trying to maintain possession. Jonathan Racine has to go back into his own zone to get it. Defense partner, Jonathan Narbonne. Now Alain Saulnier. He gets caught by Andrews. Had to dump it in. He'll head off for a change.
23-1-1-0. The Moncton Wildcats when leading after 2, and that's in peril here.
Jaskin, he's out there again. Makes the defensive play. Does he have a little too much on this? Yeah, the sweepers were on it too early. That's an icing call, and the crowd at the cage will let the linesman hear about it.
This is a good deke by Lewis. Just to sell it, make it look like he was giving it that maximum effort. And Danny Flynn looking on. Dmitry Jaskin has been sensational in this game. And there's Jaskin sending it down the ice. And watch Lewis. Just puts on the brakes right here at the hash marks. Starts to throw the shoulders out to make it look like he's working hard to get back.
And Danny Flynn won't take any chances here. He'll call a timeout. Make sure his guys are rested after that icing.
And there's Dominic Ducharme down there. And, you know, we made the point earlier, RJ, about when Jonathan Duran and Nathan McKinnon, who've gotten all the attention this year, when they left to play at the World Juniors, there was a lot of guys who were able to step up, whether it be Fournier, Boudreau, Andrews, Andrew Ryan when he was healthy in the lineup. And the coaching staff collectively said, hey, this really helped our hockey club. This helped galvanize our hockey club. It made other guys feel more a part of it. And it also made us realize that we could still win games without those two guys. Now that task stands for Jim Midgley, Dominic Ducharme, and Steve Hartley today to say, hey, we've been without Nathan McKinnon since early in the second period. We've still got Jonathan Duran. Can we come back? What was a 3-goal deficit at one point?
6,084 at the Moncton Coliseum. And they've seen the game with a little bit of everything. It's not done yet. Murphy from the line. Walked in front of the net by Deneau. Now he's thinking offense. He's speeding up there with Jaskin. Jaskin trying to get through 3 Mooseheads. Can't do it. Jonathan Drouin. His pass to Stéphane Fournier. Fournier using that long reach. Oh, Andrews, it was just out of his reach. Fournier hauled down. He's slow to get up. He'll have to get up, get back in the play. Wildcats, they needed a change, though. Mackenzie Weegar. His pass gets to McCauley. McCauley's bumped by Saulnier. James Malindi looking for that puck. He falls down. Trey Lewis shot right on. Dubois looking for it in the slot. And Jacob Sweeney is able to clear the zone.
Saulnier got away with one there. McCauley was dragged down right in front of the net.
Martin Furt, some hard work at center to get that puck into the Moncton zone. Albertshauser. Uh-oh, now he's caught. It's a 3-on-1 for Moncton. Nobody close to catching up for Halifax. Saulnier scores! Oh, a big goal for Moncton. Alain Saulnier puts them up by 2.
These teams are all over each other. The chirping on the ice is unbelievable. And as Halifax tries to keep it in, Albertshauser makes that one extra move. You can't do that when you're the last guy. And the 3-on-1 goes back the other way. And the East Coast Sedins get it done. Alain to Alex. It goes back up ice. Drop pass. And the East Coast Sedins, I don't want to say they've sealed it yet with the way things have gone in this one, but it is 7-5 and a 2-goal lead with 2:16 left to play.
Well, it's funny, earlier in the game when Moncton was scoring all those goals, we had a chat about, hey, the Saulniers haven't gotten in on the end.
Yeah.
Well, maybe they waited and saved their best for last.
Just when you needed it most.
Well, here's the deal. Just over 2 minutes to go here in the third. And Moncton has had as much as a 3-goal lead in this game. But a huge goal by Alain Saulnier has them up by 2. Chance in front of the net. Clark has gone to the bench. Extra attacker on the ice for Halifax.
It's filthy down there right now. Just getting nasty.
Murphy. Over to Darcy Ashley. Heading to the front of the net is Boudreau. Chance to clear. Deneau tried to scoop it along the boards. The open side. This is Ashley again. Wines fires. Oh, Dubois! He caught it.
Ashley faked it once and figured he'd get Dubois down and out, but the young short netminder is able to battle back here with a glove save, and talk about when you need it most. Ashley stops, fakes, lets it fly, and a big glove save there by Alex Dubois. Man, oh man, the ebbs and flows of this game has been unbelievable.
Well, it looked like Halifax had this thing in the bag. Easy 2-0 lead. And then a 3-goal lead for Moncton. Dominic Ducharme calls a timeout.
Yeah, you need a little sip of water. The way things have gone in this game, it's been quite the circus here.
Well, person of interest, a software genius and an ex-CIA operative work together to prevent violent crimes before they can happen. Person of interest on City, Thursday at 9 o'clock.
Person of interest is Nathan McKinnon, who left this game early in the second period with what appeared to be a lower body injury. And the Mooseheads have tried to rally back from that, but every time they come back in it, the Wildcats extend the lead.
Net's empty for Halifax. Minute 25 to go. Moncton up by 2. And it's called on a glove pass, and that is not good news for Halifax. That faceoff will come outside, and here's the McKinnon injury.
Yeah, top left part of your screen. He pulls up just across the line and then gets hit maybe in the back of the leg. And as he spins off that check, he's skating across the middle of the ice now at the blue line, goes to the bench gingerly and doesn't return. Here's a little closer look at it for you in case you had missed it. And you can see him just start to limp away.
Almost looked like it happened before the contact when he was trying to get away from the contact.
Yeah.
That's a strange one.
Well, maybe the skate got caught in a rut, and I don't know.
Albertshauser directed one toward the net. Moncton a chance. Bayou at center. Missed the open net. Conrad Albertshauser, overage defenseman, tracks it down. The announcement for 1 minute to go. Coming across the Moncton Coliseum. Albertshauser stick handling and put his teammates offside.
And Ashley better be careful. Put the puck right into the stands at the end of the play.
You could tell by his reaction he didn't mean to.
Yeah, I didn't mean to. Man, oh man, the number 2 team in the Canadian Hockey League, the Halifax Mooseheads, dominated this season series 3 games to 1 over Moncton, but the Wildcats have stormed back tonight.
Should mention the Wildcats got an honorable mention in the CHL top 10. A game like this might allow them to crack that top 10. Uh-oh, Yaskin hat trick. You better believe it. Dmitry Yaskin, the hat trick. And he continues to roll, and the Wildcats have put away the Mooseheads.
And is he looking for the Mooseheads? Oh, Kipper's watching back in the studio. Things getting a little ugly with Burke and Veilleux. And Yaskin this time around, not quite the Yakupov-like celebration with the Mooseheads and the 2 hands to the ear, whatever you want to call it. But in the meantime, they're out of hats, so they're just throwing whatever they can on the ice right now. And I think this is a pretty good indication of what this rivalry means to the city of Moncton.
Well, there's 40.5 seconds to go, and this cleanup will take a little bit of time. Looks like they had some white balls of some sort in the crowd, and those won't be easy to spot on the ice.
Blue Jays give away what's going on here tonight in Moncton. They're all fired up.
Dmitry Yaskin put on a performance. We expected to see a dominant game from him. Hat trick, has an assist in the game. He has been on almost a 3-point per game clip over his last 14 years.
Yeah, I mean, isn't that something? And you know, we knew coming into this thing that he was one of the best kept secrets in the Canadian Hockey League, and we referred to it on multiple occasions tonight. I don't think that's the case anymore. He's not sneaking under anyone's radar anymore. And you know, the St. Louis Blues are probably saying it's about time this guy got his just due. Well, 4-point night.
And you think back to that first goal, Sam, in the first period?
Game changer.
Might be the turning point.
Yeah, 37.6 seconds left when he scored that first goal. Moncton was down 2-0, and they came out in the second period and had an awesome second. And that, to me, and you're right, RJ, was the goal that turned this game around. And from there, Yaskin out there to try and get that hat trick. And Yep. There you go. Perfectly placed. But he didn't give him the Kipper celebration there.
We got a chance to see his sense of humor yesterday as well. By the way, he was born in Russia, raised in the Czech Republic, so he speaks Russian, he speaks Czech, speaks English. Philip Deneau says he knows how to speak French too, but Jaskin wouldn't give that much. And Sam asked Jaskin and Deneau, they were playing on the same line with Barbashev, asked the two of them, Deneau and Jaskin, which one of you two is better? They looked at each other. Jaskin, straight face, said, Barbashev.
He comes from a hockey background. His father's a general manager in the KHL. And so he's grown up around the game. He knows all about it. And the St. Louis Blues must be so happy that he made the decision to move out of the Extraliga to come and play in the Canadian Hockey League.
Well, he's talking to Barbashev right there. And Barbashev, first overall pick in the import draft, came over as a 16-year-old, couldn't speak much English, if any. And Jaskin, being able to speak Russian, really made his transition easier, too.
Yeah, and that's, that added extra bonus you get. Barbashev gets up there in one of the road trips. They asked them to play Rookie Idol. They had to go up there and sing a song. And Barbashev, not long after not knowing a word of English, writes a song in English and ends up winning the Moncton Rookie Idol.
They said the singing wasn't good, but the songwriting was okay.
Yeah, they like the composing.
20 seconds to go. All that's left here for Moncton is to get Christophe Lalonde the hat trick. He happens to be out there, hovering around center. They'll be content to take these 2 points. And the crowd remaining here at the Moncton Coliseum get on their feet. Standing ovation for their Wildcats. And maybe this one's not quite done yet. Ross Johnston, he can be dangerous. Trey Lewis can throw him a little. Trey Lewis, yeah, he won't back down.
Johnston didn't like how Lewis just dumped it in, thinking that everything was done. And Lewis followed that puck beyond the Moncton goal line, and that's what made Johnston upset. He thought he might be going after Dubois.
And Trey Lewis cleared out of the Moncton end. What a win for the Moncton Wildcats. Dmitry Jaskin had 4 points, a come-from-behind victory, and a statement made by Moncton.